So why learn Japanese? Because you might be thinking, learn Japanese, that's a very specific thing to suggest to someone. And you might even have some questions, such as, I don't even know anything about Japan, and do you want me to learn the language? Or, I like Japan, but what do you expect me to get out of this? Or lastly, I'm already the laughingstock of my own country for not being able to speak my own language, and you want me to lower my social standing even more by having me associate with a bunch of weebs? Sure, learning Japanese sounds fun, in theory, but there's a lot that goes into that. Things like time investment, commitment, or what am I going to get out of it? Those are all big hurdles when it comes to language learning. So let's get over them. Worry number 1, time investment. A lot of people get caught up with how long it takes to learn Japanese compared to other languages. People might start with Japanese and be like, hey, this is easy, only for things to get a bit more complicated and consider, why am I taking so long with this when I could be learning something easier like French or Spanish? But there is something quite significant that comes with this. A lot of people might say the language is complicated as a way of saying that the reward itself of learning Japanese is getting over the hurdle of the difficulty. But it misses the point that it isn't about getting over something complicated, but that a complicated language has the potential to change how you perceive things. What's great about learning a wildly different language and culture is not that it's complicated, but that it's very different. And it will take your vocabulary, your expressions, your customs, and change how you perceive your own language and culture as you learn another. It will take everything that once seemed foreign to you and make it feel familiar. And it will take what is ordinary to you and make it feel strange. There is plenty to learn from other languages like French, German, Spanish, but as a kid I never actually found these languages all that interesting. And in my case it was that actually I needed something very different. So maybe you never found language learning all that interesting, but maybe this would actually be extremely interesting to you. Because learning Japanese, there are ordinary ways of saying things with description and historical context or unexpected rhythm that will be completely normal, ordinary, day-to-day things, and it will catch you off guard and strike an odd chord with you. Things that go into your personal life and way of thinking that you will now carry with you forever. Worry number 2, what if it's too late to learn a new language? Did you know that actually babies are geniuses and adults are poo-poo stupid? Why? Because 90% of the adult brain is used to figure out how taxes work, and the other 10% is occupied, worried about accidental tax fraud. If you've heard that your brain becomes a rock as soon as you hit adulthood and can never learn anything new again, then that's not true. But it's a very comforting thing to tell people if you'd really prefer to never put effort into anything again. I don't think it's as simple as kids are better at learning languages than adults. I mean, a baby sits around all day, what else is it supposed to do? And I think the difficulty for adults probably has a lot more to do with how much have you been shamed over the years for making very simple mistakes. And a lot of people start learning Japanese and they get very focused on having the right grammar and the right vocabulary. And you should learn that, but my suggestion is don't be afraid to just go with the flow of how regular people talk. Because through that, you might actually find yourself quite well understood despite a lack of knowledge in grammar and vocabulary. Learning a language, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and it's better to just embrace it. Speak with your mistakes and listen to how people respond to you. It's this kind of back and forth that's immensely beneficial, something that you once did as a baby. And language learning can be a very good lesson in self-awareness and humility, things that a lot of people find really uncomfortable. If you're getting into learning Japanese so you can brag about knowing Japanese, you might instead find yourself making horrible mistakes that embarrass you for the rest of your life. Which is pretty great. These are the kinds of mistakes that people find to be really innocent and that you learn a lot from. So if you're already a social embarrassment, then language learning is a great excuse to make mistakes and grow as a person. What else is going to give you that chance? Worry number 3, what if I waste my time? The thing that worried me the most as I was learning Japanese and eventually made me quit was the question, what if I'm wasting my time? I became disillusioned with the idea of working and living in Japan, so I would sit and compare languages and be like, well, I live in Europe, and the largest language by mother tongue is German, but the second most learned language next to English is French. What kind of conclusion can I make out of this? as if this answered any of my interests at all. Or, I would think, would this be beneficial to my career? I mean, Japan's economy hasn't been doing very well lately. As if a good economy is going to motivate me to learn a language. Ultimately, what I found was that maybe learning Japanese wouldn't be in my best interest. That maybe it would be better for me to learn a language like French or German. So I decided to learn French. And I never learned French, but turns out the Japanese I had learned became extremely useful. I did end up going to Japan, but even before then, I had been using Japanese for small tasks, like finding music and shows and reading different points of views and trying new things for such a long period that I could have never gone to Japan, and yet learning average Japanese would have been one of the most useful things in my life. Mind you, my Japanese is not great. It's not fluent, it's intermediate at best, and yet it opened up so many things for me that I've been influenced by, and that play into everything that I do. I might not work or live in Japan, but learning Japanese played into my interests. And turns out, you can be completely happy just being a guy who goes to Japan every now and then. And of course, finally, you don't have to specifically learn Japanese. It could be anything. There are just as many benefits out of learning other languages, but if you have no clue what to do, then from the experience of someone who did something, I'm going to suggest, learn Japanese. Okay, bye everybody, bye!